Once upon a chilling autumn night, 5 adventurous friends, Mia, Sam, Emily, Jake, and Alex, decided to have a sleepover at the infamous Blackwood Manor. The sprawling estate had stood abandoned for decades, shrouded in eerie rumors of ghostly apparitions and unexplained disappearances. Undeterred by the legends, the group set out to test their bravery and uncover the truth behind the dark mysteries that enveloped the mansion. As the full moon cast an eerie glow on the old building, they entered cautiously, their hearts pounding with trepidation. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, but they laughed nervously, trying to quell their fears. Setting up sleeping bags in the grand hall, they gathered around a flickering lantern, sharing ghost stories, each one more spine-chilling than the last. As the night wore on, strange things began to happen. Faint whispers echoed through the halls, and doors creaked open on their own. The temperature dropped dramatically, and the faint sound of footsteps sent shivers down their spines. Trying to dismiss it as their imaginations running wild, they continued with their merriment. Soon after midnight, the group heard the mournful sound of a piano playing from a distant room. Fear took hold of their hearts, yet curiosity drove them to investigate. They followed the haunting melody, guided only by the dim glow of their lantern, as the music grew louder and more melancholic with every step. The source of the eerie music revealed itself as they entered the dusty ballroom. A spectral figure in a tattered, elegant gown was playing the piano with ghostly fingers. The specter turned towards them, her hollow eyes piercing through their souls. Unable to move, the group watched in horror as the ghostly woman slowly rose from the piano bench, her form shimmering with an ethereal glow. Terrified, they ran back to the grand hall, where they realized that their sleeping bags had been scattered and torn apart. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone. Unseen forces seemed to toy with them, flickering the lantern, extinguishing the flames, and plunging the mansion into darkness. Each member of the group experienced chilling encounters. Emily felt an icy hand on her shoulder, Alex heard sinister whispers in his ear, and Sam saw shadowy figures darting across the corners of his vision. The mansion had come alive with malevolent spirits that seemed to feed on their fear. Frantic to escape, they attempted to leave, but the doors and windows were sealed shut, trapping them inside. The haunting grew more intense, and the spirits grew increasingly aggressive. As the night wore on, they realized they were trapped in a nightmarish loop, reliving the terrifying events over and over. Desperation gripped them as they realized they were powerless against the forces at play. They sought answers in the mansion's history, uncovering the tragic tale of Lady Isabella Blackwood, who had died under mysterious circumstances decades ago. Her restless spirit sought revenge on anyone who dared enter her domain. In a desperate attempt to appease the vengeful spirit, they tried to communicate with Lady Isabella, hoping to understand her pain and offer her peace. Through seances and Ouija boards, they learned the tragic truth of her death and the injustice she suffered. Her spirit longed for closure, and the group vowed to help her find it. Guided by a newfound determination, they pieced together the truth about Isabella's demise and her treacherous husband, who had orchestrated her murder. As dawn approached, they performed a ritual to help her soul find solace and break the curse that bound them to the mansion. In a moment of bittersweet release, Isabella's spirit finally found peace, and the mansion's malevolent energy dissipated. The doors and windows swung open, and the group, emotionally drained but relieved, stepped out into the warm morning light. As they looked back at Blackwood Manor, a sense of closure and understanding washed over them. They knew that the mansion would remain forever haunted, but now it was no longer a place of terror but a reminder of the night they faced their deepest fears and found redemption for a tormented soul. And so, the 5 friends left Blackwood Manor behind, carrying with them the memories of the chilling night they spent together. They grew stronger from the experience, cherishing the bonds forged amidst the terror. And as they walked away, the legend of Blackwood Manor would continue to send shivers down the spines of those who heard the tale, reminding them that some mysteries are better left undisturbed. It was a dark and stormy night when 5 friends, Sarah, Emma, Jack, Mike, and Lisa received mysterious invitations to a sleepover at the abandoned old manor house on the outskirts of town. The invitation was written in an ancient script and had no sender's name, but the allure of an exciting and thrilling adventure was too enticing to resist. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, they decided to accept the invitation and set out on their adventure. As the group approached the old manor house, they were greeted by the sight of a decaying mansion shrouded in eerie mist. The grand building, once a symbol of opulence and wealth, now stood in ruin, its windows boarded up and its grounds overgrown with weeds. The wind howled ominously, and each creak of the old wooden boards sent shivers down their spines. Inside the mansion, the friends explored the dimly lit rooms, each filled with a sense of history and mystery. Strange sounds echoed through the corridors, and the flickering candlelight played tricks on their minds. As they ventured further, they stumbled upon an old study filled with dusty books and cryptic symbols. Unbeknownst to them, the old manor house had a dark past. It was once inhabited by a powerful sorcerer who delved into forbidden magic and cursed the estate. Legends spoke of a malevolent spirit that haunted the grounds, seeking revenge on anyone who dared to disturb its restless slumber. As the night wore on, the atmosphere grew increasingly tense. Jack claimed he saw a shadowy figure lurking in the corner of his eye, and Lisa heard whispers coming from the empty ballroom. The friends tried to convince themselves that their imaginations were running wild, but as the hours passed, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. In an attempt to dispel the fear, the group decided to investigate the history of the old manor house. They found an old diary hidden away in the study, revealing the tragic tale of the sorcerer who once lived there. He had lost his beloved wife under mysterious circumstances and turned to dark magic in his grief. The diary warned of the malevolent spirit that was bound to the house, seeking vengeance on those who dared to cross its path. As the clock struck midnight, the paranormal activity intensified. Doors slammed shut, objects moved on their own, and chilling whispers filled the air. The friends huddled together, trying to summon the courage to confront the ghostly presence. They attempted to communicate with the spirit using an old Ouija board, but the session only heightened the terror. As the night progressed, the malevolent spirit grew more aggressive. It targeted each friend individually, tormenting them with their deepest fears and regrets. Emma was chased by a ghostly apparition down a dark corridor, while Mike experienced visions of his past mistakes haunting him. They realized that the spirit was feeding off their fear and negative emotions. As dawn approached, the group realized they had to confront the spirit's dark past and release it from its curse. Following clues from the diary, they discovered an ancient artifact hidden in the basement, the source of the spirit's tether to the old manor house. Through a heart-pounding ritual, they managed to destroy the artifact, hoping to free the spirit from its torment. The moment the artifact was destroyed, the old manor house trembled and shook violently. The spirit's malevolent energy dissipated, and the friends felt a sense of relief. The mansion returned to its state of decay, but the haunting ceased, and peace seemed to have finally found its way back. Leaving the old manor house, the friends knew that their bond had deepened, forged through the terrifying experiences they had shared. They had faced their fears together and emerged stronger than ever. From that night on, they remained close friends, always cherishing the memory of the haunting sleepover at the old manor house. Once upon a chilling night, 5 friends decided to have a sleepover at an old, abandoned mansion nestled deep in the heart of the woods. The mansion was said to be haunted by malevolent spirits, and local legends whispered about its dark history. Undeterred by the tales, the group of friends, Alice, Jake, Sarah, Ben, and Emily, sought the thrill of spending a spooky night together. As the sun dipped below the horizon, they arrived at the ominous mansion, their flashlights illuminating the crumbling facade. Inside, they found a grand but eerie interior, with creaky floorboards and portraits that seemed to watch their every move. They brushed off their unease, attributing it to the excitement of the adventure. Settling in the grand living room, they shared ghost stories, laughter echoing through the dimly lit hallways. But as the night wore on, strange occurrences started to unsettle them. Doors slammed shut on their own, footsteps echoed from empty rooms, and chilling drafts blew through the corridors. Their nerves frayed, the friends tried to reassure each other. Sarah suggested they perform a seance to communicate with the spirits. Reluctantly, they gathered around an antique Ouija board, their hands trembling as they placed their fingers on the planchette. The Ouija board came alive, spelling out cryptic messages, and an eerie presence seemed to envelop the room. Suddenly, the planchette shot across the board, and the atmosphere grew colder. A disembodied voice echoed through the mansion, causing the friends to gasp in terror. Panicking, they decided to put the Ouija board away, but the disturbance had awakened something sinister within the mansion. Shadows danced on the walls, and ethereal whispers filled the air. Terrifying visions flashed before their eyes, and they realized they were trapped in a nightmarish nightmare. As they tried to find a way out, the mansion's layout seemed to change, leading them in circles. The walls seemed to close in, and the very air around them grew heavy with malevolence. Panic and fear consumed them as they struggled to keep their sanity. In their desperation, they stumbled upon a dusty library with ancient tomes. The books contained dark rituals and forbidden knowledge, hinting at the mansion's gruesome past and the malevolent spirits that haunted it. But they also found clues to a ritual that could potentially banish the spirits and escape their nightmarish prison. Gathering their courage, they followed the instructions, creating a protective circle with candles and performing the ritual with trembling hands. As they chanted the incantations, the mansion shook violently, and the spirits unleashed their wrath upon them. Time seemed to stand still as the spirits manifested around them, their ghastly forms twisting and contorting. The air crackled with malevolent energy as the friends clung to each other, fighting to maintain the circle. But just as they thought all hope was lost, a blinding light erupted from the center of the circle, purging the mansion of its malevolence. The spirits vanished, leaving the friends exhausted but alive. The mansion returned to its abandoned state, devoid of the supernatural presence that had plagued it for years. With the ordeal finally over, the friends made their way back to the safety of daylight. Promising to keep their chilling encounter a secret, the 5 friends emerged from the mansion forever changed by their night of terror. They realized that some mysteries were better left untouched, and the mansion remained a grim reminder of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. From that day on, the abandoned mansion stood as a chilling monument, a haunting reminder of the horrors they had faced. And whenever the friends passed by the mansion, they couldn't help but shudder, knowing the malevolent spirits had left an indelible mark on their souls, one that would forever haunt their dreams.